there's no place like home for the holidays. And no matter how far away you roam, if you pine for the sunshine of a friendly gaze, for the holidays you can.
Welcome back to Horror for the Holidays, a Christmas horror movie podcast. I'm Jay Logsden.
And I'm Detective Jeff Searcy.
Detective Searcy, I'm glad you're here. We got a terrible situation.
I know. Kids have been going missing in 5 very specific areas of the United States.
Luckily, none of them here around Des Moines, Iowa, so we're okay in that regard.
That's why they hired me to investigate this case. I'm retired, but I have a thing for tracking Krampuses.
Man, last night, if you follow us on social media, you'll see that Jeff and his wife and I went and saw Anna and the Apocalypse, and I would rather just talk about Anna and the Apocalypse again.
Yeah, this is Anna and the Apocalypse Part 2.
This was that was after I had rewatched the movie we watched for today's episode. You guys can see it in the title. It's Krampus the Christmas Devil.
Yeah.
But after I watched that yesterday, and then I went and watched Anna and the Apocalypse, and I'm like, that was a nice palate cleanser. Like why can't they all just be like this? It's so much fun. It's even more fun on the big screen than it is just watching it at home.
Well, Jay has, you want to know how sad it is? He rewatched Krampus the Christmas Devil. I had to pay to rewatch Krampus the Christmas Devil, a 99-cent rental on Vudu, because I forgot the extra DVD copy that Jay has for some inexplicable reason. He has 2 copies of Krampus the Christmas Devil.
I sure do.
Which I think we should probably burn at least one of this.
It's so I got one at the local, like, I don't know, like kind of like a collector's store, Jay's CD and Hobby. I got one there, and then I was down at the down in Kansas City at one of their collector's stores they have called, I think, like Vintage Stock or something like that. And I was like, a Krampus movie. Like, I don't know if I have this one, because it turns out, there's like 10 different movies with Krampus in the title.
Weirdly, yeah.
And so I was like, well, I'll just buy it and make sure, just to make sure I have it. Yeah, now I just have 2 copies of this shitty movie. Like,
that was it, Vintage Stock?
I think it's, Vintage Stock is what
it's neither vintage nor stock.
Oh, it was certainly in stock. I got it off their shelves.
You should sue them.
But yeah, this is...
You exposed me to Krampus the Christmas Devil. Cause grave personal injury.
Yeah, let's get into it. We'll deck the halls. This is a 2013 release, but the only release date, like the only physical release date I found, or like any reference to a date when it was released, was August 21st of 2017.
Yeah. I think, from what I was able to gather, it was basically distributed by Netflix and only available on streaming up until that point.
Okay.
And then I guess some insane person thought this needed a physical release and didn't just need to be relegated to like the Tubi garbage bin.
I mean, it should, Zaslav should have just clicked and dragged it into the trash folder and deleted it.
Definitely.
Written and directed by Jason Hull, who also wrote and directed the sequel Krampus the Devil Returns.
Oh God, we're gonna have to do that, aren't we?
At some point, yeah. In fact, most of the people I'm about to list are all also in the sequel. Paul Firm plays our scumbag Santa. He's in the sequel. Darren Foltz plays Dave. He's also in the sequel.
It's me, Dave.
Richard Goteri is Captain Gilf Furby, and he's also in the sequel. AJ Leslie, who plays our lead, Jeremy Duffin, is also in the sequel. Michael Milley, who plays Crazy Harry. I think Jeff's favorite character, Crazy Harry.
Oh, yeah. Crazy Harry, man. He was insane, especially that time when he came on screen was like, hey, it's me, Crazy Harry.
And he's also in the sequel. Strangely, our Krampus, our titular Krampus the Christmas Devil, Brad Weaver, does not make a return in the sequel. So someone else plays Krampus in the sequel.
Weird. He didn't want to reprise that role. That's insane.
Bill Oberst Jr., who is Brian Hack, Hack, I think. I don't know. I think that's our kind of like our other villain of the movie.
I guess, yeah.
He is in a movie that is coming out called Vampire Santa 1: The Beginning.
Well, we're going to add that to the list.
And then also is in an eventual spooktacular movie, All Hallows Eve 2.
Ah, okay. Oh, talk about a huge letdown. So they build up this guy. Oh, man, put the serial killer away. Now he's getting out. It's only been 10 years. They got him out on a technicality after 10 years. Like, I don't think they got him out on a technicality there. I'm pretty sure he just qualified for parole.
Yeah.
But they build him up over this entire movie, and we see him for what? Maybe like 5 minutes total.
And he's like this kind of creepy old guy.
This weirdo.
Like just this insanely creepy old man. Most of the actors in this movie have like under 5 IMDb credits to their names.
I'm shocked.
And some of the ones with more are in a lot of the same movies. So it's like,
it's apparently it's a group of people who like to work together or whatever. They're probably like friends in real life, which I mean that seemed like it was a bunch, especially the scenes where like the cops are talking to each other, seemed like just some guy bullshitting with his buddies,
right.
Basically.
Filmed in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Mike Lombardo's fault. That's who I'm blaming this movie.
I think you brought it up. I messaged Mike after we watched this, and we're like, "This is, you need to teach Jason Hull how to direct a fucking movie because this thing is fucking awful."
But you know what? Mike allowed this to happen in his state. I don't know about this.
The reported budget I could not find, but I think you said
it was anywhere between $200,000 and $250,000 is what I was able to find, which is mind-boggling for the production quality of this.
Right.
This was like a movie you would expect to have like a $10,000 budget.
I don't know how this has like, what did you say, like 10 times the budget of White Doomsday?
White Doomsday, yeah.
And it looks so much worse by comparison.
But it's just, it looks, not only does it look bad, it's like the only thing I could think of is maybe like the suit work for Krampus and stuff like that they put some money into.
But even that...
But even that's like nothing special. That's like a few $100s.
The guy who plays our dirtbag Santa is like literally wearing like a loose-fitting like Santa suit that he probably got on like a standard Party City or something.
Yeah, as I say, it's just a standard Santa costume.
He's not even wearing a hat.
The only thing I'm thinking is it must have been for like the different locations that they shot at. Because there are quite a few locations in this, so maybe that's what they ended up paying for.
Yeah, I don't know. Personal experience, we both kind of already touched on it. Like, we don't really have any, either of us do.
This is another bomb dropped on us by the wheel.
Yeah, like this. And yeah, like I said, like my only experience is I'm sure I saw it one time in like a red box with like, Krampus came out, the Michael Dougherty Krampus came out, and I went like, oh, they're trying to capitalize off of that. Like,
no, I remember seeing the poster. That's the DVD box cover and the one they use on the streaming services. I remember seeing that around, but I never bought it.
Yeah, I like my only thought is like, oh, we'll trick people into buying this instead of, the Michael Dougherty movie.
Yeah, well, I guess at the very least you can give them that this is actually about Krampus instead of something like Mother Krampus that isn't even really about Krampus. Right.
They named it Mother Krampus to
capitalize
off
that.
the Krampus.
Yeah.
Krampus has mothers now?
Apparently. That's Frau Peaches.
But no, my main personal experience is apparently buying 2 copies of it.
Yep. That's Jay Logsdon for you, everybody. Bought 2 copies of a terrible movie. It didn't even have 1 copy of Pumpkinhead.
Where to watch it? You can come to my house and grab one of the copies from me. But otherwise, not really streaming anywhere for free. Not even on Tubi.
Actually, you know what we should do? We should, for Christmas, we'll whoever comments first on this video will give away a signed copy of the other one.
We're signing it.
We're signing. Do you really want Jason Hull to sign it?
Probably not.
No, we'll sign it and give it away to you.
I'm worried how bad we're talking about this movie. Like that this was some money laundering operation. And like the mob is involved and they're going to track us down because we're speaking so negatively about this shitty movie.
I don't know. This seems like a lot of effort to launder $200,000.
But yeah, like really nowhere to watch it. Like it's you have to pay to watch it.
You have to buy this movie, which is odd because it's listed as distributed by Netflix. So at some point, this had to have been on Netflix, but it's not anymore.
But the sequel is available to stream places, which I
Yes.
think is even stranger.
Yes, that's also it's everything about this movie and its sequel are strange.
Let's just dive into it. The sooner we get this over with, the sooner we can do better stuff.
So we open with Krampus dragging an annoying kid in a sack.
Yeah, we get a bunch of before that we get a bunch of like Christmas stock footage with a children's choir singing "Oh Come All Ye Faithful," as a narrator tells us about Krampus being Santa's brother for some reason.
That's important for later.
And how he has till midnight on Christmas Eve to punish the kids on the naughty list. Some of the scenes in this are like bad PowerPoint, like it's just bad PowerPoint presentation.
It's just, I don't even know. They must have been like, well, this is going to be too mind-blowing for people, so we're going to have to put in an opening narrator.
And then we get this weird like Christmas wrapping paper like cut or fade or whatever or wipe, where it's like digitized Christmas wrapping paper being torn open as it then says 1983, and we see Krampus taking a young Jeremy Duffin in a burlap sack to a lake to drown him.
Unfortunately, he does not succeed.
Yep. The "Oh Come All Ye Faithful" gets all distorted. Whenever Krampus is on scene in this movie, like it gets all distorted, like whether it's like like looping the footage on top of each other, like fading it into itself, like
playing Krampus at double speed so he doesn't look like he's walking so awkwardly.
There's like weird cuts with it. There's weird like color saturation. Like sometimes it's like color saturation and sometimes it's like black and white.
It's so odd too, like the filtering that happens, like when the cops are like being taken by Krampus or whatever, and it like fades, and half the shot will be black and white, and half will be in color, stuff like that. It's like somebody's like, I learned how to use Photoshop today.
Krampus crosses Jeremy's name off of the naughty list as we see like Jeremy get out of the burlap sack in the lake and run away, even though he's not wet and he does not look at all cold.
And the thing that Krampus threw him into didn't even look remotely big enough or deep enough to drown anybody.
Yeah, it's more like a large puddle.
It's like like you'd see like in one of those drainage ditches where there's a little bit of water collecting.
At Jeremy's house, his mom is on the phone talking to someone. I assume it's like the cops about
the
her
police,
missing kid. Jeremy runs in the front door, neither looking cold nor wet, just as we just said. As his mom yells up after him, wondering where he's been. His dad then just walks into the frame, like behind her, with the most bored line delivery and says, "Was that Jeremy?"
Which is apparently the last time he ever saw his father.
Right. We cut back to Krampus walking alongside a lake or a stream. He goes into like a cavern with candles and books and shit all over. And lays down the naughty list only for Jeremy's name to uncross itself off the list.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
We cut back to Jeremy in his childhood home. His mom and dad are asking where he's been, but it gets all echoey and distorted as present-day Jeremy wakes up to his phone ringing. He tells the captain he'll be there in 10 minutes, even though he literally just woke up.
He literally just wakes up at this point. He's like, oh yeah, I'll be in 10 minutes. Like, what, do you live next to the police station?
He calls, he goes and like sees his wife and daughter, where we're introduced to Rebecca and Heather. And at one point his wife calls him Duff, which like, if they're married, that's also her last name. Her last name should also be Duffin. And it would just be kind of weird. Like, I've got a friend in college that everyone called Benson. And it would be really weird if his wife, who is also now last named Benson, also called him Benson.
Sometimes you just have to wonder.
We then get our, as he leaves for the day and like tells Rebecca and Heather goodbye, we then get our shitty, awful opening credit sequence with like generic whiny metal playing in the background.
So somebody on this production had a band.
We get like a weird book and candle like credits where like there's like a like kind of like a ghosty looking like candle and book, and like the pages are turning with like the credits for the people. I'm sure someone thought it looked cool, but it looks very bad.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, Jay. This thing looks amazing.
There are also pictures of old Krampus postcards in like every image. Like I think someone probably just went out to Weird Christmas's website and just pulled off a bunch of images.
No, Are you insane? All that artwork was custom made for Krampus the Christmas Devil. The 2013 classic movie, Jay. I don't know why you're bad-mouthing this masterpiece.
We also get scenes like intercut with like Krampus walking. Get used to seeing people walking in this movie. It takes up a lot of the time.
Get used to people walking. Get used to people sitting down, talking to each other, seemingly about nothing related to what's going on.
We also get Jeremy driving. Get used to seeing that, too. There's long scenes of Jeremy just driving.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of real-time driving between locations.
Jeremy arrives at the tiny-looking police station that appears much bigger on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy and Captain Gill talk about the missing kids.
Captain Gill.
Furby.
They say Furby, but it looks like Farabee when you look at the credits.
I think we're going to call him Gil Furby.
Yeah, he's definitely Gil Furby.
But they talk about the missing kids and Jeremy's theory and how it relates to him, getting kidnapped all those years ago.
This is all connected. A guy stuffed me in a sack 30 years ago.
And then it's like, and Captain Gill knew Jeremy's dad, and he's like, I remember your mom making that call.
He was the best damn cop I'd ever seen.
Me, your dad, Crazy Harry, like we were inseparable. Like I remember he went home to see you, and then we never saw him again.
Never forget.
But he also has like he's like every 10 years ago this happened in this town, and then he's also like, but last year it was Toronto, and then 10 years before that it was also Toronto. He's like, every 10 years this killer's moving around.
Listen, Jeremy, I'm gonna give you one more chance to crack this case. You go get 2 of your alcoholic drinking buddies from the bar and go hunt Krampus in the woods.
Jeremy, who just arrived at work, then tells Captain Gill that he'll assemble a team tonight and they'll search the area tomorrow morning. He just got to work.
And by assemble a team, of course, he means get 2 ridiculously old guys to walk around in bulletproof vests with their names stitched on them in the woods.
Also, apparently Brian Hack, or Hat, I don't remember what it is now, a child molester that Jeremy put away after only 10 years. The captain tells him that to be careful because he got out and he's coming to get him.
You better watch your back, Duff.
Jeremy Jeremy leaves.
Unfortunately, he does live, yeah.
And Gil yells after him, I want that fuck!
Yep. Like they say.
There's a lot of like... there's a handful of moments where I'm like, I don't, it feels like child cussing.
Yes,
like it feels like a child not knowing, like saying fuck, but not knowing what fuck means.
There is a weird level of unnecessary profanity in this movie. Like, you know how the profanity in Thanksgiving was like spicing up the sentences and was funny? This is like the opposite of that.
At a bar, Jeremy and his 2 bald friends talk about tracking down these missing kids. Yes.
Why is we found out why Crazy Harry's called Crazy Harry, Jay, because he's the only one in this movie with hair.
At first, I thought that it's just 2 guys, but later we will learn that they are also cops.
Yes, apparently there's no indication that these 2 are cops, and you would never guess it by looking at them, because one is old and out of shape, and then the other one is ridiculously old. Like, literally has a gray beard. Yes, apparently they're still, SWAT team tactical operators.
One of his cop friends also implies that he maybe escaped Krampus as a kid.
Yeah. He's like,
I've been having these dreams too.
What you're telling me is giving me flashbacks, man. I think I was stuffed in a sack by Krampus 30 years ago, too.
and then that's never picked back up on or mentioned again.
Not one time. Never mentioned again.
Jeremy mentions that he was a bad kid and basically what happened to him set him straight, but never mentions what he did that was so bad.
Exactly. That is also a running theme in this movie. Apparently there's all these bad kids in these towns, yet no one ever mentions what the hell they actually did to deserve this. And the one thing we saw that one girl do, was like flip the Monopoly game board or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, that gets you tortured and killed by Krampus,
right? Like, no, Krampus punishes is supposed to be a threat to children, but like also the idea is like punishes the truly evil.
Yes,
like doesn't just like a kid that like flips a game board does not get punished by Krampus.
No, Jay, he does. And you know who else gets punished by Krampus? Because I think it's at this point we fade into Krampus's cave again. You know who else gets punished? Women.
We're not there yet, but yes, we will get there. Our shitty dirtbag Santa walks up to his brother Krampus after Jeremy leaves the bar. And
No, I think this is the first point where you see her, because dirtbag Santa is like, we don't have time for this, brother. For some reason, I'm going to talk to you like I'm Hulk Hogan, brother.
how there's a kid in in the town, like a kid that was on the naughty list, has gone good on them. So apparently it's very easy to get off the naughty list.
And I know,
But the punishment is death.
Santa looks like insanely mad about it, too. Like, fucking gone good on us. I was looking forward to beating him and torturing him.
No, he looks like the take on like Santa's Slay Santa, like Goldberg Santa. And it's just like a much less intimidating, much less impressive, much less good actor.
Yeah.
Like,
which is shocking.
Which is shocking for Goldberg. But it's like, yeah, they saw Santa's Slay and they're like, yeah, we want to capture that aesthetic without the budget, without like how amazing Goldberg's suit looks in that movie. Mm-hmm. And like, here it is.
Well, just without the intimidation factor, too. I mean, the guy, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like he's completely unintimidating or whatever. I'm sure he'd be very scary to children. But it's like to adults, this guy's a normal sized dude.
Also, he's got like a very small, like closely cropped beard, but then long white hair. Weird. It's very weird. And then, like I said, no Santa hat. Like he's just wearing the suit, but no hat.
This is dirtbag Santa, Jay. He doesn't wear a hat.
It is dirtbag Santa. He mentions that Sean Roberts and Heather Duffin are now at the top of the list. I thought it was really funny. I had a friend in college named Sean Roberts. And so I was like, oh, it makes me want to message him, but not that much.
Sean Roberts, real piece of shit. Top of the naughty list material.
Jeremy looks at his missing kid conspiracy corkboard as the same looped soundtrack of like kids crying for help just plays over and over and over again. We see flashbacks to literally 20 minutes earlier in the movie, but then Captain Gill saying a slightly different version of dialogue than he said previously.
Detective Searcy here.
Like he's like because I think he earlier he said like, I want you to catch that fuck, but then the next time around when we see the flashback, he goes, I want you to catch that motherfucker, and it's like that's not what he said.
Listen, Jay. Based on the details of the case you've given me so far, I think we're about to bust this thing wide open. And don't you worry, I'm going to catch that fuck Krampus.
He then plays Russian roulette. And honestly, I wish the gun had just gone off so this movie could have ended right there.
He should have drowned in the sack at the beginning and then the credit should have rolled.
It would have been so much better than what we had to suffer through. We see some kids playing Monopoly, and Sean Roberts flips the board.
Fucking Sean
because
Roberts.
He is losing. I mean, I get it. Monopoly fucking sucks. It's a terrible board game. A little girl then sees Krampus like standing in his yard staring in at them. When the mom then goes to look, no one is there. The little girl's mom then calls on the phone and tells her to come home. So she and Sean walk 2 houses over for him to take her home.
I'm walking you home.
Like literally, they walk out of their driveway, walk past 2 houses, and then she's like, well, here's my stop. And then she goes back.
It would have been hilarious if Krampus popped out from behind the mailbox and shoved her in a sack at that point.
Sean is then walking back to his house, and Krampus runs up behind him, throws a bag over his head, and runs off carrying him.
Yep. I sacked him.
It looks so funny and so stupid. And and remember what we said, like it gets all distorted and like black and white, but it just looks so bad when it happens.
Now we're at the best point in the movie, aren't we, Jay?
So the next morning, Jeremy and his 2 friends arrive in the woods wearing matching winter camo hoodies, bulletproof vests, and Ray-Bans.
Yeah. Now we're going to walk through the woods cool style.
We now get 5 minutes of them walking tactically with their guns.
Yeah.
And it's like my favorite is like one of the guys is literally like jumping on every step. Like he's not even stepping. He's not like it's one of them looks like they're doing like what Ministry of Silly Walks from Monty Python, but the other guy literally is like just like jumping forward like repeatedly.
Yep. I'm doing tactical hops, brother.
And this goes on for like 5 minutes.
Literally 5 minutes of actual screen time.
They see like fresh blood in the snow
Krampus tracks.
As Krampus watches them from the trees. They all look very goofy when they see Krampus and start shooting, but none of them hit him. Also, instead of the sound of gunfire played, it's just like loud music playing over it, which I just thought was a weird choice.
Well, Jay, gunshot effects are hard to do.
They're then like, oh, I don't think any of us hit him. And we see them walk for like 5 more minutes around.
Oh, Well, we just got into a shootout with Krampus. We have to check around the woods for him again.
Krampus trips Jeremy with his chains, and then one of the two cops he also trips. And this moment is done so much better in like A Christmas Horror Story and Michael Dougherty's Krampus. Like it feels very similar to like in Christmas Horror Story where Krampus like grabbed the shitty brother and pulled him off into the woods, or like, you know, the countless scenes I think with the chain. I think there's at least 2 scenes with chains in Michael Dougherty's Krampus, and just done so much better in either of those movies.
Except in this, it goes into a weird slow motion like stutter photography thing. And he swings the chain, but you never actually see it make contact with anything, and then the guy falls over dramatically.
Oh, and Krampus like is swinging the chain above its head. It looks so silly.
All right, and then this is the point where he kills Fat Operator, right?
Well, real fast, Krampus does not secure the chain around the legs of either of the two guys he just trips. He just wraps it around their legs once and then just starts dragging them. But there's literally no way he could have secured the chain. He literally just, we see it wrap it around his foot, and then suddenly he's just being able to be dragged away.
Come on, Jay. Keep up. This is a magic chain.
The other cop sees Krampus run with fast forwarded speed.
Damn.
Oh, look how fast he is. It's like someone hit fast forward on a VCR.
It's like he's moving at double speed, and you forget to turn that off on YouTube.
He then gets punched out from behind by Krampus, and then gets his head stomped in with Krampus's cloven hoof.
Mm-hmm.
We then see his head all bloody, but his bucket hat is fine, so don't worry about his little bucket hat.
We're down one operator.
In Krampus's lair, there's a topless woman in her underwear begging for help, and we also see Sean in a cage.
Yeah. Fuck it, Sean.
Krampus kills the other bald cop with a machete after cutting his heart out.
Excellent.
And telling him that he just made the naughty list.
We're down 2 operators.
He says to an unconscious Jeremy that he knows his face, and goes and like looks through a stack of like lists and finds out Jeremy's name uncrossed off. While Krampus is distracted, our hero cop, Jeremy Duffin, escapes, but neither frees the topless woman or Sean Roberts, the child. Just runs out, not helping either of the two people.
Well, you see.
But he's a real hero cop.
Sometimes when a cop is in a situation like this, Jay, he's got to do what's best for himself and come back with help later, even though he never does.
As we learned in Uvalde, Texas, the cops would rather run away in the other direction than actually help people.
Jay, I think you're being a little uncharitable here. This is clearly the most powerful Krampus we've ever seen. He could fast forward and slow down time.
Krampus uses a bad electrical effect, like power. Like we even hear kind of like the sound.
He uses force lightning, Jay. He's also a Sith Lord.
To seduce the topless woman, so she's like no longer cringes at his gropey like advances on her, and suddenly seems real horned up by the whole situation.
Well, yeah. Jay, I can't believe I have to tell you about this. You are clearly a self-proclaimed Krampus expert, yet you know nothing about his rape powers.
I do not. I mean, you know, I've not read the book on Krampus, but I've certainly never heard that mentioned. We then cut to the outside of Krampus's lair as Jeremy is running along the riverbed and at one point trips and falls into the water.
Of course he does.
Scumbag Santa arrives in Krampus's lair, basically confirms that Krampus kidnaps and rapes women, and that
also he confirms that we don't have time for this shit, brother.
You had days to do this. Why are you doing this now? Like, Jesus Christ, man. Also, you know, a decision that just didn't need to be made in this movie, other than maybe they just wanted boobs in the movie for whatever reason.
And they wouldn't have. That doesn't even explain it, though, because having boobs in the movie does not require Krampus to be a weird Christmas rapist.
Right.
And Santa to also be just fine with it.
Yeah,
too.
Santa's just okay with Krampus doing it.
It's not the fact that Krampus is going around raping women. It's the fact that he's doing it at inopportune times.
Santa threatens to kill Sean for torturing and killing small animals. So it turns out it's not just flipping a Monopoly board that put him on the naughty list.
There's also a little detail here. I don't know if you caught it, Jay, because the plot of this movie is so intricate. But the blood they found in the woods is not actually from anybody Krampus killed.
Yep.
It's a little nod to the escaped child molester / serial killer.
Oh, no, it's not even that. It's a nod to the fact that apparently Heather Duffin, Jeremy's daughter, is going around killing children.
I was going to save that for later, Jay.
Sorry. because that's when Krampus, that's when Santa kind of reveals makes the big reveal.
That's the big reveal.
I'm gonna let you go, Sean, because Heather Duffin is worse. And then basically says, I know that blood wasn't you. That was this other person.
So they leave you trying to guess. It's like, is it the escape guy that they've been talking about, or is it somebody else?
But also, if Sean, tells Sean as he lets him go that if he doesn't change his ways, Krampus will get him.
Also, this is the point where Santa says, I would love to kill you myself.
To a child. Krampus, Santa, who's supposed to be the good one.
Yeah. It's like, that's maybe a line you should give to Krampus.
We then cut to Jeremy in his car yelling at Captain Gil Furby.
No, Captain, you don't understand. Everybody's dead. I need support out here immediately.
Not only that, but he keeps saying man. He's like, they're dead, man. Captain, man, they got him, man. I don't know, man. They got him. We need help, man. We need help out here, man. I need backup, man.
That's how people sound when they're panicked on the radio, Jay. For watching as many movies as you have, you're sure ignorant of all the tropes.
At the station, Jeremy babbles about what happened. The captain demands his badge and gun. And then Jeremy cleans himself up, gets in his car, and then apparently falls asleep and dreams that Krampus attacks him in the back of his car.
No, Jay. I think you're underselling this a little bit. He bursts into the station, hysterical, and the captain's like, dude, calm down. He's got to calm down. He's like, all right, yeah, good. I'll calm down. I'll go take a shower.
You're too close to this. I need your gun.
I'll go take a shower. That's literally his solution to calm himself.
Also, when he goes in the shower, the blood splatter is completely different than the blood splatter we saw previously.
Also, the blood in this movie looks fucking terrible, by the way.
It's the bright red blood color.
It's the blood you get out of the bottle at Spirit and Halloween, basically.
At a different bar, we meet Crazy Harry.
This is Crazy Harry's bar, Jay. And we find out Crazy Harry is Crazy Harry because he has hair.
We see a news report about the dead cops and Captain Gil Furby talking about what happened. Crazy Harry tells Jeremy he is a good cop and it wasn't his fault that all those other cops died. And apparently there is now just... Jeremy also let 2 cops die 10 years ago.
Apparently, every time Jeremy goes out to hunt Krampus, he lets a few cops die.
Good guy Jeremy, I guess? I don't know. Rebecca calls and tells Jeremy that to hurry home. She has a surprise for him. We never learn what that is. I thought maybe at the end of the movie he'd open a Christmas present and find or his stocking and find that she was pregnant or something.
Oh, we know what the surprise was.
But no, there's never any resolution to what the surprise is.
Well, you know why that happened? Because he needed an excuse to go home.
Some other cops arrive. They're mad at Jeremy for letting so many cops die. And and this is where it's revealed that 10 years ago, that Jeremy also let 2 cops die.
These cops are also bald, by the way.
At Jeremy's home, there's a knock on the door as Brian Hack and 2 of his cronies force their way into the house as Heather runs upstairs. Brian holds Rebecca hostage, and he has just so many weird lines. I didn't get a single one written down because they're all so fucking strange. His delivery is wild.
I am fucking insane, Jay. You know what I'm going to do to you? I'm going to stick my finger in your cleavage.
He does that at one point.
And then do nothing else to you.
But there's a scene where he's like, I want, or he has a line, like I said, I didn't write it down, but his line delivery is something like, I'm gonna catch your scum-sucking, dog-humping father, or husband, who put me away for 10 years.
Dog-fucking, lard-lumping.
Hash-slinging, slash-bringing, smash-bringing. The hash-slinging slasher.
But who was flickering the lights?
Krampus.
But that's when we find out that the daughter is a murderer.
Yeah, one of the cronies heads upstairs to find Heather, and she's like, what do you want for Christmas? And he lays down on the ground, and she mounts him, and then just pulls a knife out of the back of her pants and stabs him repeatedly.
Damn.
But it's oh, cool. So Brian and his 2 cronies are apparently just pedophiles. Great.
It's the old blowjob / stab switcheroo, Jay. And also, if these guys are pedophiles, they seem to be skewing on the little older side because this woman looks like she's 25.
I think I made the comment to you that Rebecca looks like she should be the teenage daughter and Heather looks like she should be the wife.
Yep, definitely.
Back at the bar, we get a slow-mo, poorly choreographed fight scene.
We're gonna beat your ass, Jeremy, because you're a stupid piece of shit.
I think one of the cops says to Jeremy while he is on top of him, after I'm done fucking you, I'm gonna go home and fuck my wife. Which is just very, very strange line.
It's more
dialogue.
like best line of the entire movie, Jack.
Captain Gill arrives, saves Jeremy from apparently getting fucked, and then attacks the other cop that was attacking him with a baseball bat.
And don't forget Crazy Harry's for breaking all this shit up, too.
Yeah. And they're like, go home to your family, Jeremy.
We'll take care of this.
We'll take care of this. You and your dad, we're good men. We'll take care of this.
He was a good cop, so we're gonna murder these fuckers and bury him out back.
At Jeremy's house, Brian eats cookies and drinks milk out of the carton while threatening Rebecca by screaming like a pig collar at the Iowa State Fair. When he's like, because he's like, where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where's your Where's your husband? Like, just over and over again. It's so weird.
Well, Jay, where's your husband?
Brian thinks he sees Jeremy outside, but instead he finds Heather paralyzed in fear because Krampus is standing behind him.
Yeah.
Krampus picks him up and snaps his neck and tells him he's been naughty. Jeremy pulls up as Heather kind of runs up to him at the front of the house, tells her to stay put. He finds Brian's body, and they make their way inside the house, where Jeremy literally walks in and just puts a bullet right between the goon's eyes. Jeremy runs to the... Krampus then, like, knocks Jeremy unconscious very easily, kind of very reminiscent of Death Dorm.
Ridiculously easily.
Just like, I think it just appears behind him and knocks him unconscious, telling him Merry Christmas. Jeremy comes to and finds Rebecca strangled with Krampus's chains around her neck and Heather missing. He's like searching through the house for her, can't find her. Finds a burlap sack by the Christmas tree. Oh, there she is. She's safe. Opens it up and there's just presents inside, which I thought that was kind of a neat little touch.
Merry Christmas, Jeremy.
Jeremy runs to the front door and falls to his knees as emergency services like come up. I don't know who called 911 to get him help. But apparently someone did.
Well, I guess the captain figured he better send some units over.
Back at Krampus's lair, Heather Duffin's name gets crossed off the list. In credits roll, filled with shitty Christmas rock and bloopers. Normally, I like rock and roll Christmas music, but this Christmas rock and roll music was fucking terrible.
And bloopers. I usually like bloopers, but this entire movie was a blooper.
No, none of the bloopers feel like they fit. It's just like people failing to deliver lines over and over, the same lines over and over and over again.
Don't forget, we get a nice little end credit scene of them, Crazy Harry and the captain confirming that they have in fact murdered those guys. And he's like, I'm going to have to get some more cops.
I missed that entirely. Is that
really?
A thing that happens?
That is a thing that happens, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yes, it's Captain and Crazy Harry joking about how they just buried all those guys out back and are going to have to get some more cops.
Oh, my God. I completely missed that. That's amazing.
Which, now, you see, I get the fact they're trying to set up Heather as, like, this secret serial killer or whatever. And that's why Krampus is punishing her. But why did Krampus kill the mom? That makes no sense.
I have no idea. Oh, man. Do you want to get into the minutia section?
No, we're going to have to. This is a horror for the holidays episode.
Well, where do you want to start?
Let's start at the amazing sets and costumes, Jay.
All right. Christmas sweater, costume design, set design. It's not good. It's not like a good costume, but I just thought it was really cute that they were all wearing like matching snow camo hoodies and vests, and then the one guy in the goofy bucket hat.
Yep. No,
it's not good. They don't look good or comfy. I just thought it was real cute.
They look, they look like you would see, like, the fat guys on Facebook who dress up in their tactical gear and talk about how they're going to overthrow the government. That's what they look like.
They do. No, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, did you guys all color coordinate today? Like, I think they're even all wearing the same black jeans.
All right, let's just address the elephant in the room now. The Krampus costume sucks.
It sucks, but that's I want to touch on that later. It's not good, but like they do a good way of masking it. I will put it that way.
They mask it with all these ridiculous editing techniques and fast forwarding so you don't see him for too long.
But like the Santa costume is so much worse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Santa costume they didn't even try on. I'm not even going to say the Santa costume sucks because it's just like a store-bought Santa costume. The Krampus costume they clearly had to hand make.
Well, we know that we know that the movie takes place in Pennsylvania because when they go to Crazy Harry's bar, there's a shit ton of Steelers memorabilia all over the walls.
Well, and it's not like you need like a great budget or anything to do a good Krampus costume. A Christmas Horror Story has a good Krampus costume.
Yep. No, it's not that it is not that hard to get a good Krampus costume. Right. But I also think they're trying to copy potentially some of Michael Dougherty's because it does look very similar in design.
It's like a worse version of that design. Yeah. It's like if you took all the bad, like it's like give me that design, but give it to me so that everything cool about that one is lame on mine.
They probably saw because like technically this came out first because I think Michael Dougherty's Krampus is 2015.
Yeah.
But like they probably got like an early image of it and they went, oh, we need to jump on that because like they've got the same red cloak, they've got kind of a lot of the same.
They got the same weird fingernails. They got the same kind of wispy beard.
Yep, theirs are just much worse. Like it's a glove with like nails just put on the end of the black glove.
No, Jay, those are Krampus's rending claws.
But yeah, there's nothing good in like any of there's nothing good set design wise. There's nothing good costume wise. Like
we touched on it a little bit earlier, but the miscasting of the mother-daughter combo I think was a little bit ridiculous. Like Heather looks like she's ridiculously older than her own mother, and just the way that they have them dressed and stuff. Jeremy's quote unquote wife dresses like she's like a teenager, and Heather dresses like she's a soccer mom.
Yeah, literally the entire movie. Her only outfit is like pajama pants.
Yeah. It's just and the sets. I mean, it's obvious they had permission to film at a bar, Jay. Because they do a lot of bar shots.
I think I said to you, I was like, I know why this movie's not able to be streamed anywhere. Someone contacted ESPN about all the illegal usage of their feeds in the background.
Just random sports footage being broadcast in a movie. It's like, how did you think that was going to work?
And like, it's not like in Iron Man 3 when we see the Mandarin. And he's watching he's watching a soccer game on TV, and we get like 5 seconds of it. No, it is constant ESPN clips in the background.
Like when they're just talking at the bar or whatever, you could just see the TV.
Like there's a guy on TikTok who does show me a clip from a movie and I'll tell you what this is from. I want to be like, tell me when this tell me what these are about. Like tell me what games these are.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
But yeah, there's nothing,
There's nothing of note here except, I don't want to harp on it too much because I'm sure they tried, but it's like...
I'm not sure they did.
Well, I think they've tried on the Krampus costume at least to copy the aesthetic of Krampus. But, no, the rest of it's like, basically, hey guys, I need you to come to the set dressed. That's about all you get. Oh, well, the captain does have a collared shirt. I'll use that.
Yeah, he does. That is true. So let's move on to Christmas Carol's favorite quotes.
I want that fuck, Jay. I want him bad. When I get done fucking you, I'm gonna go home and fuck my wife.
I mean, you already said that was your favorite. Jeremy's dad, his 2 lines. Is that Jeremy? And Jeremy, answer your mother. Literally read in that. I probably did a better job with my line read of him.
You did.
Than he did in the actual movie.
You didn't sound nearly bored enough, Jay.
Captain Gil Furby, your dad was a good man and a good cop. Me, Crazy Harry, the 3 of us were inseparable. And that's the moment where we don't meet Crazy Harry for another hour. And it's just this weird, it's like, who the fuck is Crazy Harry?
Well, we took care of those guys, but now I'm going to have to give myself some more cops. We just murdered 3 people.
We'll get him this time. I want this fucker, Captain Gil Furby. We'll get him this time, Captain.
Yeah, we'll get that fucker this time. Oh, and let's not forget, What are you doing, man? Who knows? What are you doing, brother? We don't have time for this right now. Can't just be raping these girls.
There's nothing that any of us can do ever to bring those dead babies back. That's what one of the bald cops says.
Yep.
Once again, it's a baby. How is Krampus killing babies? Children, naughty children, sure, like especially if they're punishing animals or potentially killing other kids. Babies would not be getting killed. Babies would not be able to do anything naughty.
Babies would have no ability to get on the naughty list in the first place. Oh yeah, Santa to Sean in the cage. I'd love to kill you myself, but it's your lucky day because Heather's at the top of the naughty list.
I've also got a line from our shitty biker Santa. Time is short, and the naughties must be punished. And the naughties must be punished.
Yeah, Jay, the naughties.
Time is short, and our podcast listeners must be punished. But yeah, that's all I got for quotes. Other than all the weird shit that fucking Brian Hack says, that I just did not have time to write down every single thing he said in the fucking movie.
Basically, if you want a good quote from this movie, here's my quote from Detective Jeff Searcy. Don't watch this piece of shit.
I literally said, Jeff, you were there. You saw it. I was looking up something about this movie, and 2 of the reviews on Letterboxd were like, this is the worst piece of shit I've ever seen.
Yep. No, and I felt that in my soul when you sent me that. I was like, that is exactly what I was thinking.
Let's do Christmas Spirit. How Christmassy is the movie? How Christmassy are the kills? Set decoration for Christmas stuff, I think, is pretty good.
Okay, I guess.
Like, it's not great. It's not outstanding. I mean, Mike did a better job, but like at least it felt like a Slade level of Christmas stuff.
It wasn't American Scream bad. It was. I'll give it that.
I mean, there's literally like a Santa statue in Jeremy's conspiracy room. Just like on his desk, there's just a Santa. So like they at least did a good job of putting something Christmassy in like every single scene.
Somehow Santa's tied into all this, Jay. I just haven't solved the case yet.
Also a lot of snow on the ground, which is a huge plus. I mean, when we get to the remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night, it takes place in Wisconsin, yet there's no snow on the ground. So
ridiculous. Well, unless there's for some reason like we're based in Iowa, if no one does. I mean, you should know that already, but if this is your first episode, we're based in Iowa. And somehow it's going to be 60 degrees tomorrow in December.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Kills. I mean, Krampus is doing most of the kills.
I was going to say, the only thing that makes any of these kills even remotely Christmassy is that Krampus is doing some of them. But I mean, even the kills he does. I mean, there's really nothing. Cutting somebody with a machete isn't Christmassy.
Yeah, and yes, Krampus is doing them. So I mean, at least they're slightly Christmassy, but they feel like less Christmassy. I mean, Mother Krampus had like all sorts of like Christmassy style kills, and it's like a similar level of movie.
I was gonna say, Mother Krampus blows this out of the water. Frau Peaches would destroy this Krampus.
Like everything about this whole. Like the Christmassiness of the kills, like, is completely missing.
It's just basically if you didn't have Krampus and Santa standing around talking to each other in this movie, you'd have no way to know this is a Christmas movie.
Yep. No, absolutely. There's just they don't do anything to like make the kills stand out or anything like that.
It's just I don't know. Like I said, it's base level, I guess, because Krampus is killing some people, but yeah. Even, like I said, even the kills Krampus does, like, he does his slow motion chain swing and stomps on that guy's head. He kills somebody with a machete, which isn't Christmassy at all.
Well, and they're not any more Christmassy than, like, the kills that Krampus did in A Christmas Horror Story. Mm-hmm. But those kills still felt more Christmassy than the kills in this movie.
Well, the atmosphere, I mean, you understood why all these people were being punished by Krampus, too, in these other movies. It's like you really don't get why these people are even being killed half the time.
No,
It's like, the cops didn't do anything. They were literally just coming out there to help Jeremy try to figure out who was killing and kidnapping these kids. So it's like, how did they end up being deserving of being murdered by Krampus?
Right. By shooting at Krampus, they're suddenly naughty, I guess. I don't know. I guess broken bulb, brilliant bulb. One thing you want to fix and one thing you want to praise. Do you want to go first or should I?
Go ahead, Jay. Go
All
ahead.
right, my broken bulb. The one thing I would fix. There's so many things wrong with this movie. It's hard to pick just one, but the most egregious decision was all the rape pedophile shit in this movie. Like, it feels like it wanted to make this some kind of like grim and gritty movie. Someone's been going around raping these women. Oh, they're like these pedophiles keep getting off. And it's like, you don't need to do that. It just feels dumb and forced and like completely unnecessary. Like the topless woman that that is Krampus's pet that he's going to rape is like an excuse to have boobs in the movie.
Which, like I said, is way too complicated. Honestly, you don't need an excuse to have boobs in the movie. Just have Jeremy's wife with her top off. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. It would have been so much easier than whatever this is that just feels icky and gross and just like a teenage child's understanding of like what is grim and dark and gritty about the world. It's like when DC Comics discovered what rape was when Identity Crisis came out, and they did rape storylines for years afterwards that just all felt like pointless and stupid. Like,
if you wanted to do a serious like drama about like some kind of rapist, that strikes around Christmas time, you could have done that, but this is not that.
No. This is too bad and goofy and dumb for it to work.
This is way too goofy and like low budget hack job to be dealing with themes like that.
No, and I think we get better movies where there's like maybe like kind of like sexual assault storylines coming up that are just so much like that. Some of them I've seen and some of them I haven't. That like I feel are probably better done than whatever the fuck happened in this movie, where like I said, I think it's just some teenage edgelord who's like, this is what people like, this is what's grim and dark.
It's pretty creepy, bro. Well, and it's like having like the guy he put away be a child molester. It's like that has no bearing on the story at all. So it's like, why throw in that detail?
Other than the line where he's like, he said I raped a kid. I mean, I did, but he didn't have to say it.
Yeah. But it's like making him a child rapist had no point. It's like you could have had him come get revenge on Jeremy's family just because he put him away.
Yep.
For any crime.
No, you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to say that. You don't have to have the weird thing where like Heather seduces the guy and then stabs him.
Before she kills him, yeah. Or Krampus, it's like, no, in no Krampus lore I've ever read has Krampus even been implied to be a rapist.
Yep.
And it's like he literally has a rape power set in this movie.
It's so weird.
To like hypnotize a woman into wanting to fuck him.
Yep. It's so strange. But yeah, that's my broken bulb.
All right, what's your brilliant bulb, Jay? That's what I'm more interested in.
My brilliant bulb, the one thing I would praise is the Krampus, like we said, the Krampus costume looks really dumb. But they did like a unique way of like keep it, even though the effects all look stupid, like even though all the fucking like saturation and slow-mo and jump cuts and all that shit looks really dumb and tacky, it hides how bad the costume looks.
I'll have you know, Jay, that I bought Final Cut Pro to make this movie.
And some of the best horror movies like hide the villain, like you don't know what the bad guy looks like, and I think they bumbled backwards into doing it, but they actually like hid the way the like probably some of the flaws in the Krampus costume, and just at least made the movie that much better by doing that.
Yeah, even when he's like in a static shot or whatever, they always make sure to place him far enough away that you can't really see the details.
Yeah, or like when he's like close to Santa, he's usually like it's filmed from behind,
or he's filmed in shadow, or you could just see like his arm or whatever.
Or like the closest scene we get of his face is in like a dark backyard. And so like you can kind of see there's a face, but like the mask I don't think is moving, but at least like they have it wreathed in shadow, so you can't really tell that it's just a mask.
The second you get a close-up view, though, is when it falls apart. Like, immediately when he was dragging the sack at the beginning, Jay saw the gloves and was like, those look fucking terrible.
They look like cheap dollar store gloves that they just put press-on nails onto.
It's like really bad. But no, I mean, whoever did the set, like, whoever set the lighting up for Krampus and whoever like made the costume choices for him, I think knew what he was working with at least.
Yep. No, so yeah, those are mine. What's your broken bulb, brilliant bulb?
My broken bulb was that this movie got made. No.
I mean, I was tempted to put down as my brilliant bulb like the end credits.
No,
like it meant the movie was done.
My broken bulb was just the quality of acting overall. It's like if you're gonna get your friends to act in a movie, at least have them try. Like Captain Gil Furby, it's like he sounds so bad. His line delivery is so flat, and then his like the random cussing, was that in the script or was that ad-libbed? It's like, I want this fuck. I want this fuck. It's like, or like when the guys are talking at the bar and you brought up that thing earlier. Oh, it's not going to bring back all those dead babies. It's like, who wrote this shit? And also, get like somebody on set who can coach these guys to try and deliver this like a little bit more dramatically. It's like literally, it's like somebody, if you gave us this script, you could have filmed Jay and I like casually reading the script back and forth to each other, and it probably would have sounded more believable than what they ended up with in this movie. And it derails the movie every time somebody gives one of these like long-winded speeches or whatever, and it highlights how bad it is.
There's randomly like bad 80-yard in lines where like one person was was clearly mic'd up correctly and the other person wasn't. Mm-hmm. So they 80-yarded in later, and so it's like one person's talking like this and one person is talking like this. Like
and it's no, that was by far the thing that drew me out of the movie the most often was the cringy edgelord dialogue like you talked about, but also just the way that the people delivered the lines. It's like, okay, so clearly none of these people are professional actors.
And like that's the thing is you know what you said, and like I think the guy who played Gil Furby is one of the better actors in the movie.
He is, and that's
like,
the sad part.
He does a bad job, and he's still one of the better people in the movie.
I think he at least tried. Some of these guys didn't try at all. Honestly, though, I think the best line delivery was Crazy Harry. Crazy Harry sounded like casual and conversational, like you would expect like an old friend to be.
Right.
But I mean, he had like 3 lines, so it's not that it's not easy to judge him. And Jeremy's wife, she delivered her lines decently. But I mean, like the Heather, when she does the seduction stabbing, and she delivers her "What do you want for Christmas" line or whatever, it sounded like we were getting ready to roll into a porno.
I mean, we kind of were, I guess.
I guess, but this is a real sad porno, Jay. All right, and my brilliant bulb. Honestly, the thing that I liked the best was the fact that the guys, basically, even though they were trying to be serious, they still work in all these jokes throughout the movie, and a few of the jokes did land, and I thought were entertaining. Like the whole thing in the end credits scene where they're talking about he needs to get some new cops because they just murdered all those guys. Or when Santa tells Sean that I'm fucking kill you myself. Unfortunately, I don't have time.
Well, that's the thing too, is like, I don't trust these people to have made that decision.
I don't know if that was intentional or not, but there were a few bright spots that kept me alive through this horrible movie.
Yeah. No, like I said, the scene where like Krampus just runs up, grabs Sean,
and throws
a burlap sack over him, and then just hoists him up is hilarious.
I don't know if that was intentionally funny or not, but we both laughed. Hilarious. That was the only thing that made this movie even halfway tolerable to finish. So that was what I picked for my brilliant bulb.
Yeah, that's great. Let's move on to a final rating. I mean, I'm sure everyone's got this figured out by now. We rate these movies off of 1 of 3 categories. Are they seasonally scary? Are they hilarious? Or, I mean, it's this. Are they you'll be sorry, don't watch? Like, it's you'll be sorry.
Oh, no, Jay. It's seasonally scary for me. Scary in the abstract horror sense that this was allowed to be made, distributed by Netflix.
No, this is you'll be sorry. Yes. I take back everything bad I said about like Trapped Alive, the American Scream, Mother Krampus, Nutcracker Massacre, even Barricade, because this absolute turd of a movie exists. Mm. The lighting sucks, except that it somehow works for the Krampus. The actors are bad. The story decisions don't make any sense. Like, you know, was Heather killing kids? Wasn't she killing kids? Why not address that more like up front? Why not have that be a bigger plot point in the movie? Why have the fucking pedophile escape jail?
Yes. We literally never see Heather do anything except that one kill.
Was that one guy also kidnapped by Krampus? Mm-hmm. Like, nothing works in this fucking movie. And it just, none of it it's baffling.
It really is. I mean, that was the main thing for me. It's like, none of these decisions made any sense. That's why I said, we should have Mike teach this guy how to make a movie.
I would rather. I wish Mike had this fucking budget so he could.
Yeah. Imagine if I'm dreaming of White Doomsday at a $200,000 budget.
It would look amazing. Mm-hmm. It would look fantastic.
I mean, it already looks good.
Yeah. It would be that much better. Like,
and if he'd been able to tell a longer form story with that kind of budget.
And even, we've not gotten to it yet, but or when we do like Mrs. Claus / Stirring, like probably about the same level of effects, but they look so much better. Mm. Like it's night and day. Like it's still kind of a cheesy bad movie, but like that one is at least has some heart to it. This one doesn't even have that. Like, this feels so soulless and just so bad. Like, I don't even think the guy liked making it. Like, it's that bad.
It doesn't seem like anybody really wanted to make this movie. I know. It's like, honestly, that's what I asked you, remember, at the end when we watched it the first time. Was this like a scheme to get money out of Netflix?
It had to have been. Like I said, was this some kind of money laundering scheme?
As I say, not even money laundering. Did they just put in and they were like, hey, we want to make a movie, Netflix, and Netflix production department's like, yeah, sure, we'll give you $200,000 or whatever.
Yep, and they pocketed,
and then they're like,
$240,000 and put $10,000 into production.
Like, they never dreamed they would actually get the money, and then when the check showed up, they're like, oh fuck, we have to make a feature-length movie.
All right, guys, go walk in the snow for 30 minutes and we'll film it.
We're going to need you guys to get dressed and walk around outside. And we're going to need you guys to talk at the bar, which I know you do normally, so it's not going to be that stressful.
Also, we didn't mention it, but at one point when those two other cops show up at the bar, he's like, Bud Light, Miller Light. They go and sit down, and then literally, like, he's like, 2 more beers. They've not even taken a drink of their beers yet. They just sat down, and already, like, 2 more beers.
Now, that one, the older guy with the white beard, he was the only one actually drinking. So it's like, what, did he drink all 3 beers at the table, and you guys have to get more, or what?
It was... I was waiting
baffling.
the whole time just to talk about my final rating, about how fucking stupid this movie was.
I mean, this is beyond... I don't know. We may need to make like a new category, because You'll Be Sorry implies that an actual effort was made and a movie was produced. We might need to find a new Christmas-themed category for like not even really a movie.
I don't know. This is just the lowest of the low. I am dreading what Krampus 2 is.
You would be well served to watch Barricade instead of this movie.
Even like Wind Chill, which like I see people recommend off and on a lot, even though I absolutely hated the movie.
Not seen it yet.
Wind Chill is better than this movie. Like I said on the Barricade episode, I thought Wind Chill was going to be the worst movie, and then we saw Barricade. No, this Barricade's better than this.
I was going to say, don't get me wrong. Barricade is a terrible movie, but Barricade is at least a movie. This doesn't even feel like a movie.
It at least Mother Krampus had moments that like really made you and I like laugh, even though they looked silly.
They were hilarious. One, because yes, the effects were so bad. The accents were all over the place. Even the pronunciation of the main character
had some great like gore effects. Had some great kills. This did not have good gore effects.
No, great effects and great themed effects. Christmas kills,
like people stitched together with Christmas lights and shit. Fantastic. Nutcracker Massacre. I think I said to my wife, I'm like, at least in Nutcracker Massacre, we get someone's nuts getting cracked by the Nutcracker.
Exactly.
Hilarious. Very funny. Nothing like that in this movie.
There is like no reason to watch this. I was struggling to come up with one. It's like, maybe you could no, there's no reason to recommend this to anyone.
Like I messaged Matt Dupay about this after you and I had watched it.
What did he have to say?
I did not look up in the book. I meant to do that before we sat down today. I actually did want to see what he had to say, but he was kind of like, "Oh, what'd you think?" And I'm like, "It fucking sucked, Matt. Like it was awful." Let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
Yeah, because I would be interested to know what Matt thinks of this too. So he's categorized so many of these.
So I was like, we just watched Krampus the Christmas Devil. He's like, kind of rough, but oddly kind of interesting, ? And I was like, I think it might be the worst one we've watched. And that's saying something. Jeff's exact words about halfway through were, and you own 2 copies of this, which I do because there are so many movies named Krampus, I can't keep them all straight. So I just buy cheap used copies when I see them. And then he literally responded with, something tells me you guys won't like the sequel to that one.
Oh no, it's worse.
That's what I'm taking from what he said.
Oh,
Also, Matt did I think maybe wrote an update about or wrote a review for Rue Morgue about a movie called Santa Stein that is coming, or Santa Stein that is coming to Screambox, which is Frankenstein Santa, which sounds amazing. The trailer looks fantastic.
we'll have to watch that. Definitely.
Sorry, that's a random aside.
No, it's
Anything to not talk about this movie.
No, we're done with this. We're never watching this again. We're not thinking about this again until inevitably the wheel curses us with the sequel.
Well, I reached out to Craig, the guy who runs Weird Christmas, to see if he wants to come on and talk about Krampus the Reckoning, which, and he's like, anything to make my kids watch that shitty movie again. He's like, I'm in. He's like, let's do it at some point. So that's coming down the pipe at some point. Krampus the Reckoning has like a bad GameCube era CGI graphic Krampus, but even that looks like it's probably more fun than this shitty thing.
I mean, anything would be more fun than this. I never thought I would say that. Never thought I would recommend somebody watch Barricade over something else, but no. I mean,
Here we are.
Let's
Let's talk about this movie for the last time and then never mention it again. Naughty list. Where do you want to put our shitty Krampus the Christmas Devil?
I mean, I guess above our human killers, but at the bottom of our supernatural killers.
Strangely, that's exactly what I wrote. I put, based off of what we can piece together, I would put this Krampus above Nick from Once Upon a Time at Christmas, which I think is our highest level human killer.
Yeah.
But below any of the other supernatural inhabitants on the naughty list.
Definitely. Wow.
It's that's perfect.
Yeah. Well, there you go, people. Maybe we don't have to ever talk about this again.
Yeah. And after now that we're done talking about that garbage, let's move on to a segment we like to call
Garbage Day! Huh? No!
Oh man, I love Silent Night, Deadly Night too. All right. No emails this week. I was debating having Jeff rehash the the conversation about Alien on the Matt Dupay episode.
Oh my god.
YouTube comments, but we're not going to do that.
No.
If you guys want to see it, you can go check it out yourself.
The point's already been made.
So instead, we're gonna try some different Christmas themed goodies this year. We got hot cocoa Oreos.
Ah, okay.
We got Red Bull Winter Edition 2023, which is pear cinnamon.
My wife has tried it and likes it. That's Oreos. Speaking.
Yep, Jeff's opening the Oreos. We've got toasty vanilla M&Ms.
Oh. How toasty vanilla are they, though?
I don't know. I've not tried them yet. We've got EL Fudge Stripe Gingerbread Cookies themed for Elf.
For the Elf's 20th anniversary.
Yep. Which is Jeff, it's your wife's favorite movie, Elf, or favorite Christmas
pretty
movie?
close favorite. I think it's definitely her favorite Christmas movie. But I think it might be her favorite movie overall. Either that or Titanic.
And then one last thing. We got a Hershey's Sugar Cookie bar.
Ah, yes, of course.
I've just been buying shit up as I've seen it. Other things I've tried / been disappointed about. Apparently Mountain Dew canceled Cobra Cane.
Yep, they did.
And instead it's the Game Fuels are back out, which, I mean, I do like the Cherry Citrus Game Fuel.
Have you tried Mystic Punch?
I've not.
It's pretty good.
Okay. And then, I went to Applebee's and got their seasonal sip or whatever, their $5 alcoholic Christmas themed beverage. It was a $5 alcoholic Christmas themed beverage.
Yeah, Amber and I are gonna go try it.
Other than that, I do have some Barntown Christmas beer, but that'll be for our next episode probably.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
And I've got some other Christmas goodies to get through as well.
Gotcha.
if you I had never seen it before, so it's new to me, but it's probably not new to lots of people. There's like a winter Jack Daniels.
Oh, really?
Really tasty. I really liked it quite a bit.
Maybe we'll have to try some of that.
It's almost like an apple cidery Jack Daniels. Like, I kind of liked it.
Maybe we'll have to do a shot of that on our Christmas spooktacular.
All right, I'm gonna break off one of these sugar cookie Hershey bar pieces for Jeff.
All right, here we go. Try that first.
So instantly, my first thought. So it's white Hershey's cookie bar, so probably white chocolate. Has green and red like sprinkles inside. Very very much looks like a sugar cookie Christmas cookie. Smells like a sugar cookie Christmas cookie.
Yeah, pretty much tastes like a sugar cookie too. I think they did a pretty good job.
I don't know that I would eat it again, but not bad.
Nope.
Here, I'll pour you some toasty vanilla M&Ms.
Gonna try some of this pear cinnamon Red Bull. Meh.
There you go.
Really doesn't have much flavor at all.
I've had it. I think I had it once previously. Because like you get 3 for $5 or whatever. So like I had one and then saved the other 2. I do like the flavor. Like the pear flavor is very pear. The cinnamon flavor is there, and it's not great. It's not one of my favorites, but it's not bad. I think I like it better than last year's winter flavor, whatever that was.
The vanilla M&M's good. I like them.
I don't know about the vanilla M&Ms. I don't know that they're I don't know. They're kind of weird. But you know, it's our differences that make us unique.
They are weird, but yeah, I think they're weird in a good way for me.
It has like a weird. I don't see now. Now that I'm done eating it and I'm getting kind of that hint of it remaining, pretty good. Like, but there was like a weird kind of bite to it maybe initially, and then like, I wonder if that's like the toasty part. But now that it's like kind of sitting, the flavor's kind of sitting on my tongue. I like it a lot. Like, kind of a unique little take. But yeah, the pear Red Bull, the pear cinnamon Red Bull smells like pear. Like you take a whiff of it.
Yeah, it does.
You get that really heavy like pear scent.
I'm just not that big of a Red Bull fan to begin with.
Yeah, I know. That's why I tried to buy cheap, like the smallest cans I could find. But I like, and you know, and that's the thing too, is like there is like a weird kind of theory about like sometimes you get a can of Red Bull and it tastes amazing. And then you get a can of Red Bull that like the flavor's not that strong. And this one, it kind of tastes like the flavors aren't that strong.
Yeah,
like
no, you don't really get much for the flavor in this one.
But the scent is really strong, but the flavor's not really
you
there.
can definitely smell the pear.
All right, EL Fudge Gingerbread. We'll try one of these.
Here we go.
So it's normal EL Fudge. What they're kind of like a sugar cookie with chocolate fudge. These are more of like a gingerbread looking cookie, white fudge on the side. Smells, I think, like gingerbread. Looks
really, really good.
Has like a Christmas tree design where the hole, like the star shaped hole or whatever on the EL Fudge cookies is.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Kind of more of like a more mild gingerbread.
But no, not bad.
Yeah, you still get the flavor though. I think pretty good. Especially for like a mass manufactured cookie. Pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. And then last but not least, hot cocoa Oreos, the thing that drove some weirdos to CVS at in the middle of October to buy.
Damn weirdos.
So it's a regular Oreo cookie with one side. It looks like there's like a chocolate cream, probably a hot cocoa cream, and then I'm assuming the white cream is probably marshmallow flavored.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
You get kind of a marshmallow like scent to it when you smell it. But yeah, regular Oreo cookie. But yeah, you do kind of get that marshmallowy flavor or scent through.
Pretty good. I mean, there's no pumpkin pie Oreo, but I mean, what is? But not bad. You do get a little bit of the marshmallow flavor. You do get a little bit of that different hot cocoa taste versus the regular chocolate taste. I'd rate it pretty good.
No, the two chocolates I think combat themselves really well, and like you kind of get. You get both the chocolate of the cookie, but a different chocolate for the cream. Yeah. I think that's really. I did not get a ton of marshmallow flavor through, but maybe it was more in the scent than I think in the maybe in the flavor. And, you know, if I had to rate this like versus other like you said, you know, no pumpkin pie Oreo, and certainly no that gingerbread cookie Oreo.
Oh no, yeah, not as good as that one.
That
either.
one, the peppermint gingerbread cookie Oreo was so dang good. They need to bring that one back.
Definitely.
Like, that has been something I've been missing for 2 years now. Like, bring that one back, Oreo Company. Do you want to do we want to rate all of them, or do we want to say what our favorite thing was?
Sure, let's rank them.
All right.
What would you put at the bottom of yours?
Probably for me, probably the Hershey bar.
Me too.
It's neat. It's kind of a fun little thing, but like, I mean, I'm not a huge Hershey fan. Like,
Second from the bottom for me would be the Red Bull.
I'd probably put the M&Ms second from the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, putting the M&Ms above the Red Bull for me just because I like the flavor better.
No, like I said, there was like I had kind of a weird bite on that M&M. Or on the M&M, but like I did like the aftertaste, and I think that kind of propels it above the Hershey bar. Probably third from bottom for me is the Red Bull.
I'm gonna put the fudge elf cookies a little bit under the Oreos. A good flavor, decent gingerbread flavor, which I was kind of surprised by because usually these quote unquote gingerbread products don't usually taste anything like gingerbread.
Yeah, I think I'd probably put the fudge, the EL fudge, just below, just Oreo's number one.
Yeah, Oreo is number one. I was giving it just another quick taste to make sure. But yeah, no, I like it. It tastes like hot cocoa flavored Oreo. I'll give it that. I was a little skeptical because I'm like, Oreos are already chocolate.
No, I the only thing I wish, the thing I think that would make it perfect, and maybe if I try a different cookie, I might get a different flavor profile. But like the only thing I wish is that the marshmallow was a little stronger.
No, the marshmallow is a little weak, but I mean, like I said, that's what holds it back from being a top tier Oreo.
Yep.
Like a pumpkin pie or a gingerbread.
But yeah, otherwise, no, I think it's fantastic, and I also think the the fudge stripe gingerbreads are really good too.
Yeah, no, I was kind of surprised because usually I don't really care for those fudge stripe cookies, but those are pretty good.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of the same. When I want an EL fudge cookie, I get it, but like, yeah, I never go out of my way to seek them out, kind of thing. But yeah, no, I mean, you know, general consensus, usually always the same. Oreos are usually probably some of the best things we try on this show.
Yeah, no, just another Christmas and another Christmas Oreo, Jay.
But yeah, let's I'm winding down here. If you want to see us in person, strangely, we will be at the Varsity the next 2 Thursday nights for the Midnights at 10, the Varsity over by Drake University in Des Moines.
Indeed.
We will be there for both Black Christmas and Dial Code Santa Claus,
Yes.
Deadly Games. I'm excited to see both those on the big screen.
Well, Black Christmas I've already seen. Deadly Games I'm really interested to see.
Deadly Games is so good. And then also we will Monday night the 11th we will be at Flick's Brew House for Krampus.
We'll be in C15 and 14, I believe.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, you know, we're not going to go. We're not hosting these events by any means, but we will be there. So like, if you listen and you want to go do something fun the night this is released, I guess, come see Krampus.
Exactly.
Technically, you guys will miss us being at Black Christmas, but go see Deadly Games.
Yep. Come hang out if you want.
Yeah, say hi if you are a listener and you see us like that. That, you know, it'd be nice to know how our to meet listeners in person. I don't think we've actually done that yet, other than people we already know who occasionally check out the show.
I was going to say, unless some of those people at that last AMC theater screening of It's a Wonderful Knife happen to be secret show fans.
Yeah, but they didn't come up and say hi. Come up and say hi. We want to meet people because like it encourages. You know, for me personally, like, it would be nice to know that like there are actual people out there listening to the show.
Well, I mean, we've just passed a major download milestone on Apple Podcasts, so clearly some people must be listening somewhere.
Excellent.
Excellent.
But yeah, if you want to follow us on social media, get in touch with us that way. Send us an email so Jeff doesn't have to eat any more junk food.
Exactly.
horrorfortheholidays@gmail.com. We are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Threads, all those places. We are at horror4holidays. You know, various different ways to get there.
YouTube.com/horrorfortheholidays. That's the way a lot of people listen to the show. It's also where you can leave a comment and be attacked by me.
I mean, I thought you came across pretty tactfully.
I tried to not be an asshole, but it's like, yeah, I wasn't really talking about the TV interview or whatever. I was talking about the Chicago Sun-Times article. And also the fact, can we just mention real quick, Roger Ebert, what a piece of shit. goes back and changes his reviews. When he gives a good movie a bad score, he goes back and changes it later on, and then tries to erase his original reviews from existence. His literal words in his original Alien review were, "Not worth checking out, a haunted house in space picture."
I mean, that's oh shit, man! I just had a Event Horizon is more a haunted house in space.
Yeah, exactly. I just like that man pisses me off. Well, I mean, not anymore.
now he's dead. Also, follow us on the Q app, QUEUE. That's we've got one follower. It's Jerome. He went out there to pick a movie to pick out of the apocalypse. But we also use it to basically catalog all of our movies, and we can spin a wheel, and we let it decide. So it can pick that we watch Krampus the Christmas Devil instead of me picking it and Jeff being mad at me.
Mm-hmm, exactly. It deflects Jay's responsibility. But also, go ahead and write to the creators of the Q app and blame them for making us watch Krampus the Christmas Devil.
How was this even an option?
Exactly. It shouldn't have been able to be picked. Can't you protect us from ourselves?
You guys said you wanted to watch it. Did we? Did we, Q app? I don't think we did.
No, we just added it to our list. That didn't mean we wanted to watch it.
Oh, man.
But, as fun as it was to just talk about this terrible, terrible experience that we had to have twice each, it's going to be even better in the sequel, apparently, according to Matt. So.
Oh, man. I'm so excited. I don't know if that's the right word. But, yeah, well, we'll actually our next episode's scheduled to come out on Christmas, so we will see you guys again in 2 weeks. For a Christmas movie. It's gonna be Black Christmas 2006. You already know that it's coming.
It's always that. It's always that.
But we'll see you guys again in 2 weeks. Have a happy Christmas season. Go out and do something fun. Go look at Christmas lights. Go to if you got a chance to go to a Christmas haunted house, go do that. I did that last weekend. It was a lot of fun. I've also got tickets to one in Council Bluffs. I got free tickets. I don't know if I'm going to go or not, but
he has tickets.
But I do have tickets. But yeah, I've had a blast going to Christmas themed haunted houses. I think they're great. It's just kind of a neat aesthetic. And the one downtown that just did one, we were talking to the people afterwards, and they said they might consider doing a My Bloody Valentine event, which I think would be very cool too.
That would be cool.
But yeah. Otherwise, thanks for listening. Thanks for go and give us a review on your podcatcher of choice, 5 stars. These guys fucking suck and eat into the microphone, and their production quality is terrible. Man, they have some nerve complaining about production quality in Krampus the Christmas Devil when they fucking can't produce a podcast to save their lives, and they've been doing this for like a year and a half now.
Jeff and Jay fat. Real fat. In fact, I didn't realize how fat till I saw him in person at Flick's Brew House on December 11th.
At the Krampus screening at 7 o'clock. But otherwise, yeah. Thanks for listening. Tell a friend. We appreciate our listeners a lot.
Listeners, Detective Searcy here. I've blown this case wide open. Turns out, Jay actually works for Q. That's why he made me watch this terrible movie
Would
and
you
investigate
stop?
this case. He keeps telling me where we go one, we go all.
Would you stop?
He's cutting my feed. Don't let him silence me.
All right. Well, that's Alex Jones, Jeff Searcy. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Goodbye, everyone. Oh, wait. One more thing, Jay. Alex Jones has a video game out, and it's actually pretty fun and entertaining. I'm surprised.
Oh, no.
Go to his website and download it.
Don't do that.
Do it.
Bye.